It's more than just a game. It's strategy, obsession. Every waiver wire, every trade deadline, every victory. This is the Around the Orkney Bowl podcast. It's more than just a game. It's strategy, obsession. Every waiver wire, every trade deadline, every victory. This is the Around the Orkney Bowl podcast.
Hi there and welcome to year 4 of the Orkney Bowl. So myself and Craig are back again. How's it going today, Craig?
Good evening, Johnny. Welcome back to the third season now of Orkney Bowl. It's been
4th season.
great 2 years. Fourth season. Oh, jinx it, 4th season already. Time flies. But yeah, it's been 3 great years. So here's, and it looks like we've kind of got everything established now. You know, we've got the Premier Division set up. So we'll see how that goes this year. And yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to getting into it. And as you can see to my left
I
here,
made a bigger screen for you.
I've started a new hobby over the off period. Unfortunately, Aaron came home. My son living down in London, and he's came home, you know, and he's back in Edinburgh now, and he's been collecting them. So he's got me into collecting cards now. Of course, he's doing Pokemon and all those silly things. I'm just doing the sports, but. Yeah, so you can see my wee collection started already, and it's all of the ones on show are autographs as well. So I'm enjoying it, and it's I go into a Whatnot app and go into breaks, you know, so they break boxes, and you pick a team and whatever. If all the cards that come out from that team belong to you. So we shout out to Diamondback Cards, the best breakers for NFL and whatnot in the UK. So yes, if you fancy a wee card or two, get yourself into Whatnot and see up Diamondback Cards, and you'll pull a few nice ones like I have.
Well, you can send me that later on, actually. I was wondering where you were getting them. So yeah, I might have to get, because I do have a few myself, but I've only got one signed.
Well, do you know what, Johnny? I've got this one. This one is my Cam Scatterboo Roses card. So this is an insert, and as you can see my fingers behind it. It's a see-through card. I hit this one. I hit that one in a break, and I was over the moon with that one, because that's a case hit. So you only get one per case type thing. You know, you only get one of them in every 20 boxes or so. So it's very rare, and that's one of my wee babies. That's one of my favourites.
Yes, not jealous. And 2 signed Scatterboos. Remember, so you want to show them too while we're at it, showing your cards?
Well, I have the two. I have the two signed Scat as well. There you go. So there's one signed Scatterboo. And then all rookies cards, of course, as well. And then there's a second signed Scat. And of course, I've got all my Packers ones. I'm getting my good Packers collection. I've got everybody apart from Tucker Craft. He's the last one I need to get a decent card of. But I've got, you know, Golden, Watson, Tavion Williams, Micah Parsons, Jordan Love. I've even got an Aaron Rodgers to 10. So it's getting I've got the collection starting to build. You know, it's not just Packers and that. Well, I'm collecting everyone, so it's a bit of fun, and I enjoy it, and I enjoy the break, the buzz of the break when you see a card coming out that you know that's yours. Very exciting. I'll send that stuff over to you. But yes, back to fantasy, Johnny. So here we go. So it's season 2026, isn't it? So
Yes.
yeah, what's been going on? It's been a busy off season as usual, and a lot of changes have happened. You know, a lot of. I mean, you must be feeling a wee bit better about the Giants with Harbaugh in charge now.
Well, I am, but we'll see what happens. Obviously, you've got to keep Dart fit, and you've got to keep the Scatterbo fit, and it'll be nice, you know. But yeah, we'll see. The defence is actually looking pretty good in training camp, but you can never tell with training camp because it's training camp. But we'll see. I'm not overly sure about having OBJ back, because he is almost a pensioner now.
That's just a token thing. He won't be involved. That's just a kind of DeAndre Hopkins the last few years, isn't it? I wouldn't worry about that too much. He'll be sitting on the bench more often than not. If he makes it 53.
I've got Malachi Fields in quite a few, so because he might be okay.
Yeah,
so
me too.
We'll see how he gets on.
Me too. So I hope he goes well for you. But yeah, I mean, it's the usual suspects up at the top, isn't it? And at the moment, I mean, I think I've been doing a few best ball drafts, you know, and the common consensus right now, the first 2 picks are Bejan and Gibbs, and then the next 3 are one of, you know, the next 3 are basically Chase, JSN and Hooker. So it'll be interesting to see. We're going to look at 13 drafts here. I'm very interested to see just how many times it goes off the beaten path and it's not one of who do you think can break into that top 5? Who do you think we maybe see breaking into that top 5? CMC maybe?
Well,
Someone might go early on someone like Bowers or McBride?
I've seen the draft, so I know that what you just said has not actually happened in the first draft that we're going to look at, which would be a bit of a surprise. Chase has been second in one of the drafts. He might have even been first in one of the drafts as well. So there's always different draft strategies in the 9 divisions.
Well, absolutely.
This
The
this
thing
one
as well
here
is
is different.
if you're in the top 5, if you're picking in the top 5, then whoever you pick is going to be a superstar, you know. So it's however you want to build your team, however you want to go about it, you know. But the common consensus is that's the kind of first 5 off the board. So I am interested to see just how many times that isn't the first 5 off the board, you know. And I see this
There you
one that
go.
we're looking at is completely left
On it
field.
with. So this is our championship division. This is a Scaraby. So the winner of the Orkney Bowl will come from this division. So obviously we start off
So
with
this is
Sean,
the
started off
top
with
division.
Gibbs.
This is the top. We're
This is the
looking at
top
the
division.
number 1 first.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
so
this
interesting that it's the top clip. Only through 9.5 rounds. You know, these experts seem to take their time, don't they, Johnny? Maybe that's the track. Maybe that's what we should all be doing. We should all be sitting. We should all be taking our time and thinking about it properly.
Or it may also be the fact that the second pick is in America, the 6th pick is in Australia, and the 10th pick could possibly be in Brazil working. So they are working through a lot of time zones. So there's a lot of hanging
Doesn't
about.
help,
But no,
does
this is good. It'd be that's a joy of having a 12-hour time. You've got plenty of time till the draft. That's why we start so early. But no, it's
Yeah, it's all month to
obviously
get it
Chase
done.
at the
So
103, then but Taylor and McCaffrey 4 and 5, and GSN at the 108.
yeah, that's the Taylor going 4s. You know, I've not seen that before. I don't hate it. I absolutely don't hate it. I think Taylor's going to have an absolutely brilliant season if he stays fit. But it's all about staying fit for all of them, isn't it? They should all go well. But I think let's see what our double defending champions done so far, shall we? Let's study down
We've
El
got
Junco. So he started off with St. Brown, and I think he would have been delighted that St. Brown came all the way to 10. I think that would have pleased him no end. Barkley, where are you with Barkley?
well, he can't do any worse than last year. So he might get more catches with Brown not there. He might be dunk it down. I just don't like Hurts. Oh, this is an Eagles.
I'm the same.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely saying I don't think Hurts is all that, to be honest with you. But I do think that Barkley with the season that he had last year, that was a kind of down season. That spawned off the back of the amount of touches and amount of carries that he had the year before when he won it. He's now had that year. I don't hate the pick. I think he'll go very well. My issue with it is he's aging now, and if they're going along pretty well, are they not going to? They'll run out time, I think, a little bit more and try and maybe wrap Barkley up
I've
for
still got
the playoffs. And
Shipley as well, don't they? They drafted him 2 years ago.
they've still got Shipley too. Yeah, I believe
And
they've still got
he's an
Shipley too.
FTV
But
player too.
Bigsby's going to be
So.
the number 2. I've actually been picking Bigsby up at the back end of drafts, and you know, in case Barkley gets hurt. But yeah, I mean, I like the pick. I don't hate it. I do like the pick, and you know, he's the thing is they're at the beginning of the second round. But second round, you've got RB1 potential there, and that's a big thing. You know, RB1 potential is definitely there. And then he's into the third. Chris Olave at the 310, I'm pretty sure he'd have been happy that came along. Would that have been made before he signed the contract or after, do you think?
Well, going by how slow this draft is, probably before maybe. When did he sign the? I can't remember when he signed the contract.
I think it was the back end of last week. But yeah, it's a great pick. I love Olave. I absolutely love Olave. I think he'll have a great season. The only worry I've got on Olave is the concussions, you know, but you can't draft like that. You've got to draft like he's going to play 17 games. Then Ladd, then Christian Watson, then Henderson, then Lemon, then Harvey. I mean, I like that from the 10th spot. I think that's a great draft so far in the sense that I think the wide receiver room is absolutely stunning. Henderson, I think, will do very well. I'm not so sure about the Harvey pick, but yeah, you need someone for the bench, and he's not going to be starting, is he? Not with those wide receivers. So yeah, the defending champions looking quite strong so far, I would say.
Yeah. And who else we got there? Obviously, Tony, Susie Tony, who won what do you got? Rousey Cup the first year, and he won the Charity Bowl the first year. He got CeeDee Lamb, James Cook, Williams with Dallas, Etienne New Orleans, George Kittle, Mike Evans, Alec Pearson, Pittman.
Yeah, I
So
mean, I like
injury
obviously
concern
not
in
going
three of them.
quarterback, and I like not going quarterback this early, so I do like that. Looking at, I actually, with the scoring in this league, with the tight end scoring being very positive, there's what was it? I think there was only 10 wide receivers that scored more points than Ferguson at Dallas last year. So
Yeah.
you can very much start 2 and 3 tight ends in this league. I've discovered as the years have went on. And so I love Rob taking Bowers and Loveland there 1 and 2. I think that could play very much in his favour. And I love Jackson taking McBride and Kraft. I think that could also work in his favour very well. So I do like those moves that have been made.
But yeah, I liked Kraft. I hope he's fit again because he's a great player to watch, and you'd love him playing fit again. Obviously, maybe not having the wide
It's,
receivers. But obviously, I like Mark
it's,
McCaffrey if he stays fit. Chase Brown's a fantasy machine, especially Burrow's there. Tyler Warren, not sure about Ted McMillan. It's Carolina. Bucky Irvin, he disappointed me quite a lot last year because they kept on giving touches away from him. Montgomery probably be the number one running back there. Sutton, Downs, and Wandale, obviously back with Dayball. He's good for the screen passes.
the kind of do you know the problem I've got with that, and it could be an abs. At the end of the day, we're in round 9. They're all starters. Let's face it, they're all starters. My problem with that draft so far is pretty much a problem I've got with my own as well. There's too many there's so many question marks on a few of them. McCaffrey, is he going to stay fit after the season he had last year? Let's not forget what happened to Barkley after his big year last year. McCaffrey's in his 30s now. Can he turn round another year like that? I don't think he can touch the ball that much again, and if he does, he'll break. Then you've got as you say, Carolina, question marks. Bucky, what's happening with Bucky? Is the shoulder
Well, he's
injury
still
a
the
thing
number
still?
one,
Is he
but
100% fit?
I don't know what happened because,
You know,
yeah, maybe he wasn't fully fit last year, like all the time, but you know what I mean? But he started off really well. You've got Tucker, who I know you
question
picked
marks
up.
are there.
He'll be the question. And is it Gainwell they got?
Gainwell, yes, he picked
Gainwell?
up
Yeah,
Gainwell, who I
so
think is
look what
fantastic.
he did
Gainwell
last
has
year.
done great wherever he's
So
went. That's
I
what
feel
worries me
sorry for
about
Bucky.
Bucky. But then if he finds his rookie form, then absolutely brilliant. Montgomery, how often do we see these vet running backs move teams after a while we won, and they move to another team thinking, get the number one spot in that, and it never works out the way it should. Now, I mean, I think David Montgomery, behind what should be a fairly decent line, should get the points, but it worries me that he's moved away from Detroit, and he wasn't the number one at Detroit. Is he going to be able to pick up is he going to be able to have 20 touches in a game, 25 touches in a game? I'm not so sure. Sutton's got Waddle to compete with now. Downs has threatened to be brilliant so many times and hasn't been. And Wandale's Wandale. It's the Titans, and they've got so many people to throw to.
They
They've got
do.
Tate there now. Ayamaner's not terrible. DK's still there. They've got a couple of Helmet tight end. And it's the Titans, Cam Ward's still got to prove himself. So there's a lot of question marks there for me. Great team if it all works out, but there's just one too many question marks.
Okay, then we'll
And
go for
that's kind
Graham.
of what. And it's the problem I've had. It's the problem I've got with my draft as well. I've drafted players that I think are going to be great, but when I look at them back, it's the question marks that I just don't like.
What other team stands out a bit then? Because obviously we've got Sean at 1,
Well,
Austin at 2, Graham at 3, Andrew at 4.
kind of. I'm looking for the teams that are kind of getting the players have dropped to him that have kind of fell back a little bit that maybe shouldn't have went that way. As I say, I'm looking for the likes of Jalen Waddle. I'm loving Jalen Waddle this year. I just think him moving over to Sean Payton's offense, I think he's going to be really good there. You know, he was really good in Miami and he had Tua thrown to him. Bo Nick seems to be a wee bit better than that. And yeah, so I love Waddle this year and where he's going, you know, I mean, that's what 501 Waddles
This
went. I
round.
think that's
Yeah.
crazy. But then he's followed up with Kelsey in the 6th round. And I think that's crazy in itself. You know, I think Kelsey's on a swan song tour. I don't see him, you know, if he gets 15% target share, I think that's that would be deemed a success for Kelsey this year, you know. So yeah, I love
And
the Waddle
Andrews.
pick and I love getting him in the 5th round. T Higgins in the 4th at the end of the 4th as well is great, but then, you know, I go off it with Kelsey at that point, you know. So I love the Bowers Loveland start. Hall, Smith, Tootin, Moore, Harrison and Hubbard. I worry that Brooks is going to take over from Hubbard as the season goes on if he stays fit. But outside of that, I like that team. You know, Harrison's surely got to bounce at some point. You know, I love DJ Moore this year at Buffalo. You know, it reeks to me of when Diggs went over there. You know, like year 1, year 2 with Allen. I think that DJ Moore can have that effect, and the competition that he's got for touches is not all that high. So yeah, I love that. But so I do like what Rob's done there because I think he's got 2 running backs that are going to be kind of, you know,
The main.
RB1, RB2s, proper RB1, RB2s, and Holland and Tootin. I'm not calling which way. You know, I think they'll both be kind of on the border of kind of, you know, 12 to 16. So I love those. I love that as a running back room. Devontae Smith is the number 1 there now. I love DJ Moore. So yeah, that's my favourite team here so far, purely because it's got Bowers and Loveland in it as well with the scoring.
Cool. So we'll go on to sorry, St Magda's Division 1. And Danny's waiting for you to take the piss out his team. He's more waiting on he got pick 1, so they're on round 12 at the moment. So obviously Danny went 101 and he took
I can
Gibbs,
see
followed by Love, Warren.
you can see
I like his first 4.
Martin's been playing his usual games.
Oh, Martin's been going to trade. Martin's been bugging me before everybody paid, so he could get trading going.
I mean, I just don't get trading in a redraft. But anyway, each their own and all that jazz. I don't. But yeah, so what have we got here? So SBG moved up to get Chase, and
He got
so
Chase
he
McCaffrey.
started with Chase and McCaffrey. Yeah, I mean, that could have been Chase and JSN. I would have liked that a lot better. But yeah, Chase and I mean, it could be the number 1 running back and the number 1 wide receiver. So, you know, pick the bones out of that. How do you go against the number 1 wide receiver and the number 1 running back scoring? If McCaffrey and Chase do end up the 2 number 1s, then that's going to be a hard team to beat. It doesn't matter what else it's got in it.
Well, after after that, he went Waddle,
And it's
Irvin, Williams,
Waddle,
Pollard,
Irvin.
Daniels. Strange is a good one because he does. He likes Lawrence likes thrown to him, but
It's lost me.
Robinson, I
It's
thought he
lost me
left
on the way down. Do you know where it loses me? It loses me that
Williams.
I get that you do need the tight ends. You know, you do need the tight ends in this league. Definitely, you need the tight ends. But you need to, you know, once you're at that stage, you know, to go 3 tight ends in a row and one side or the other of 2 quarterbacks. Uh, 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 you know, you know what I think about 2 quarterbacks. I mean, are you
I
ever
don't
going
have.
to start Stafford over Daniels? I mean, the full
Oh, it's maybe
the
good if
starting
Daniels
lineup's
get
not
injured.
complete yet.
You know what I mean? If Daniels get injured, but it's a
Yeah,
good chance of it happening
I get
again.
that, but that's
But
so you pick up a second quarterback once your team's complete and you've got a couple on the bench for that, you know, you might actually start from time to time. Personally, that's just my personal opinion, you know. So yeah, so I think, but even at that, you know, it's got Chase and it's got McCaffrey, and if they are the number one, then SBG is going to be very, very hard to
so
beat here, I would
it's
say.
hard enough to
And do you
figure
know
out
what? See,
Martin's
after
though.
Martin giving that away, he's picked up London, Rice, Brown. I mean, that's 3. I'm
Malabi.
all over AJ Brown this year. by the way. I think that the target share he's going to get in that New England offense is going to be crazy. And he's going to eat. He is going to eat. So I love AJ Brown this year, and I will pick him up in every single draft that he falls to me in the third round. Every single draft. And
Martin's just
I'm
trying to get the
actually
number
quite
one
in on
seed and actually win a helmet because he keeps on blowing it every year. Sorry, Martin.
healthiness.
But yeah,
He's
so it's
very
got
good at that.
Rice,
I
London,
think Rice is
AJ
going to be
Brown,
brilliant.
Jacobs, Alabi, Swift, Fannin, Kittle, Dobbins, White, Golden, Naylor, and he's got Prescott on the 12th. Is that right? You keep track of where all the bloody picks
Yes,
are.
that's
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
that's actually a good
Yeah,
team.
no, I'm
Well,
just scanning it as well to see if there's any others. Yeah, I mean, I don't dislike that Prescott there whatsoever. I think that's more than capable quarterback to run with. And you know what? The thing is about Prescott, you absolutely know what you're going to get out of him. You know, and that's I've got no problem with that whatsoever. I like that pick. But yeah, I mean, it's fine what he's done. I just don't get given away the 103. I just don't get it. But there you go.
got obviously Rob,
What else have we
Scott,
got here then?
McBride.
Who else is? What else have we got here? So I'm looking for paired up, decent, good paired up tight ends. I like what Warren and Laporta could end up, and I love Danny going for the three running backs right off the bat. Scatterboo,
Yeah.
I'm hoping Scatterboo turns round and does the business, Johnny, because every touchdown he scores, those cards go up in value. Do you know what I mean? So
I'll
yeah,
plus
go
picking up
Scat, go.
Chardonnay
But
later on as well. Stick him on the IR later on in the season. And I think Sadiq's got injured
so
too,
I
so
don't get why. Charbonnet's. I'm picking up Charbonnet in a lot of places as well because he's going so late. It's that's relatively early for him, I would say, to be honest.
it is a bit.
But yeah, that's I've got no problem with that pickup because when he comes back, even if Price has started really well, they're not going to bust the chops out the rookie. Charbs, when he comes back, will be back in that team at the very worst on a 50-50 share. So yeah, I've got no problem with that pickup whatsoever, and I do love going running backs early. It's just getting them in there, and I've got no problem waiting to the fifth round for a wide receiver because there's lots of receivers that you can pick and choose from, you know. And don't get me wrong, a lot of them are going to miss, but if you've got a running back room like that, and you can just find a couple of hitting receivers, you're laughing, you know. So I mean, Washington, not a fan personally. I don't think, I would rather go Miles. I would even rather go Thomas. But he done well last season, and he's there, and he's got every possibility. That looks like it's going to be a real good offense this year. Wandale again. I'm just the Titans, not for me. And Huge could be anything. You know, it could be absolutely anything. It's a contract year for him, so he's going to have to come out and do something. So you can pick up these guys later on and get your running back room off to a good start. Jeremiah Love, is he just going to be another Ashton Genty? That rookie year wise,
Yeah,
it's
well,
about the
that's the
same
thing.
team that he's playing with, and
It's Arizona, so yeah. Or
it's just I'm more than I obviously want a hold of him in every dynasty that I can possibly get him in, but I'm not so sure I'm going in redrafts with him. Certainly not where he's going. You drop him down a round or two, and yeah, I'm in. But where he's going, it's just too early for me. Algier's there. Connor's still there, and I'm not saying that Connor's going to be a thing, but he'll get if he's still there and he's fit, he'll get touches. It's just too murky a backroom for me for year one. I think that they don't need to. They're paying him the 53 million guaranteed, I guess, so they'll want to get him out there. But I do
well,
think that
they're as
Algier will
bad
get
as
his
the
touches and
49ers
Connor
when
will
it
get his.
they're as bad as the 49ers when it comes to running backs getting injured anyway. Like we usually got about 6 on the team, and that's not
Absolutely,
next to a substation.
absolutely, and it's
I do.
he'll get his touches for sure. I'm just not so sure. If I've started with Gibson, my plan is to be going, kind of running back, couple of tight ends. I would rather take Henry. I would rather take. I don't know about Jacobs just because I don't know
I would
about
probably take
if
Henry.
he's going to
Yeah.
be suspended or not. I would rather take Hall probably. An absolute guaranteed bell cow. These guys have all went behind Love, and guaranteed bell cows. So yeah, but you know, I get the draw for him, and I get the pick. And as I say, I love how Danny started it. I just wouldn't have taken Love. I would have one of the ones that were after it. The outside of that, what have we got? Lamb
Number
Bowers,
nine's quite good.
Flowers just get paid today.
He did.
Smith.
Not, yeah.
And then, and I actually, for what Brown T's done there, I like, I mean, Judkins and Tooten are going to get a lot of touches. And then I like to pick up a Jonathan Brooks there, because it's a kind of make or shake in it. If Jonathan Brooks kicks off, then that, you know, all of those receivers at the top are going to ensure that Brown T's thereabouts, you know. If they can get, you know, Jonathan Brooks to kick in. Tracy, you know, Scatterbo gets hurt and Tracy comes in, you know, if Jones gets hurt and Mason becomes a proper bell cow, you know, then that becomes an exceedingly good team there.
And obviously, Godfather, you start off with Cook, then Walker, Neighbours, Williams, Moore, Thomas, Burrow, Godwin. It's quite shingy, but it's in the 9th round. Goddard. Then I don't know why he picked up Mahomes in the 11.9. And I quite like Higgins at the 12 for at Houston. I quite like Higgins.
Yeah, don't hate it. Don't hate it. I've got to say, I'm more in on, not in so much as I've got more shares and Dell coming back and doing something, you know, but I prefer Higgins, to be honest. I think Higgins is a better receiver and will be. Um, I don't like taking a defender in the 9th round. I mean, that's
Oh,
just
there's
way
two in
too
the
early
8th
for me.
here.
There's too many defenders that score points. Way too early. But you know, there's defenders have gone earlier than that here, so I guess they've started to be trend. You know, the earlier one goes, the more people are going to pick them up at the other side. But
Yeah.
what Godfather's done, what I love is the neighbours pick. The Neighbours pick is I'm going to win this, and I'm picking Malik Neighbours because he's going to carry me through the playoffs. That's what that pick is, and I love it. So
Yeah,
too
because
often, too many times,
when he
Tony.
when he drafted him, I was looking like Neighbours was going to be on the pup because that was early on. Obviously, he's not on the pup anymore. So it's like a bonus.
I mean, he's not going to be starting on, even if it's going to take him a bit of time to get up to speed. But do you know when he's going to be up to speed? Playoff time. And
Hopefully.
I'm absolutely sick to the back teeth of breezing through a regular season, you know, going 12-2, you know, 10-4, something like that, and then getting absolutely packed in week 15. It is so frustrating. And that pick up there, that's a pick up to say, if I make the playoffs, I'm going to have a good chance of winning them because I'm taking Malik Neighbours. So I love that pick, and I love whoever's picking Neighbours. I like it. If you can get them in the 4th round, even better, obviously, you know. But yeah, I don't hate taking them in the 3rd. And to combine it with you know, kind of Cook, Walker, and Williams, then you've got DJ Moore, Brian Thomas, and Godwin, Higgins. You're going to get some play out of them, you know. You're going to get your points out of them. All Godfather needs to be is there, you know, get to the playoffs, and Malik Neighbours will help you win it.
And obviously, these ones will be trying to get up to the top division because 4 will go up. So that's the main aim, is to get up there. So what's your favourite team then
Yeah,
so far?
at this moment in time, I think that's a very, very, very even draft. You know, I don't see many people doing anything totally stupid other than taking
Apart from
defenders
defenders.
in the 7th round. But I don't see anyone doing anything. So I think this is very even. This could be real, real close. I'm just looking to see who I actually like the best so far. Burden as well. I think Burden's going to. I think that whole entire Chicago offense. I'm in on all of it. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but I'm in on all of it. I think they're all going to eat. I think Burden's going to do well. I think Doomsay's going to get his. I think Loveland's going to be one of the top kind of 4. He will be one of the top 4 tight ends, and I think Caleb's going to be great. So I love the Chicago offense. Unfortunately, so I would say that I like what Bishy's done so far. Robinson, Bijan to kick off with. You gotta, you know, you get number 2, you're taking Bijan. But I love Hampton. Loveland's a
Hampton, I
great
like
pick for me.
Hampton.
I think you need, the tight ends, and I think Chig's going to do really well in Washington because he was pretty decent. He was just had a bad offense. I think
Yeah.
he's going to do quite well because we know that Jaden Daniels likes his tight ends, Zach Ertz, So I think Chig will do very well there. And I also think that Kincaid's going to do very well at the Bills as well, because I think Moore will take a lot of, take a lot of attention, and that should free up Kincaid. He had a very good first season. He was ho-hum, ever since, but the talent's there, so I like that as well. And I think his wide receiver room's really good in the sense that it's got Burden, Metcalf and Tyson. I'm just seeing there that it's got Terry and Chig, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but I do like that team so far. Oh, and he's stacked Caleb and Burden. Yeah,
Yeah,
I like
Loveland
Bishy
and
so far.
Burden. So
That's my
he's
favourite.
got 3 Chicago: Loveland, Burden, and Caleb.
So he
And
does,
he's got
He's got
McLaren
the
and
three. He's
Watson.
going for the Uber. I do think they're going to score a lot of points this year, so I don't hate it. Normally I don't like that. Normally I'm not a fan of being too deep in one team, but I don't hate it because I do like that whole entire offense this year.
Well, it worked for Arthur last year when he had like 5 Cleveland and 4 Chicago, and he won a helmet. So it works sometimes. Fair enough.
Who
It
the hell he
was
won a
2
helmet with
Browns
5
defenders,
Cleveland?
but well,
Oh, I was
he
going to say it must have
had
been the
Schwarzenegger
defenders.
and he had Schwartzland and Garrett, so they scored lots of points for him. But yeah, I do like I
Yeah.
like Godfather as well, but we'll get that one near the end when they finish the draft. So next up, it's some crappy little Yesneby division. I know some Muppets are in that one. I'm not sure. We are nearly finished. We've got 5 picks to go. So
Yeah, we're nearly
plenty to
there
talk
now,
about.
aren't
At
we?
least you
4
know
picks
this
to
one.
go. We're
So
just waiting on Tiger Scott
need
getting up,
James.
and
Is it
we'll
Tiger or
we'll
is it
wrap this
James?
up.
James first, then Tigers. Hopefully
Oh, it's
James
Tiger
picks
Scott.
soon. Not according to this.
Oh no, you've screenshotted that from before James is picked. It's on Tiger Scott, I'm sure.
I've not screenshotted. I was just saving the page. No,
Let
he's
me
not played
see.
yet. James hasn't picked yet.
Oh, sorry. My apologies.
I do
Yeah,
not
no, neither he
screenshot. I
has.
share the page.
Sorry, my bad.
Hopefully he'll pick
It's
soon
actual
though. We can
page.
get it over
Fair
with.
enough. Yeah, no, sorry. I thought he had picked. I thought it was on Tiger. But yeah, we'll finish this tonight, I would imagine, because Doug, me, and Fraser
Fraser will
will
be up.
bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do you want to start here then? Do you want to start with yours? Do you want to start with mine?
Oh, we'll start with your one. You were at the 1 or 2.
Well, yeah, well, I mean, Bijan was obviously absolute auto pick, and then as I said earlier, I'm fully in on AJ Brown this year. I think he's going to get all the targets he wants, all the targets he needs, and I think he's going to score a ton of points. So yeah, picked him up in the second round. Now, Jeremiah Love fell back to me, and I've fully expected Fraser to take Jeremiah Love on the turn, and he fell back down to me at 302. And I'd absolutely convinced myself that that was the way to go. So I took him. And now I've talked myself out. Like I said earlier, there's too much going on in that backfield. And, I talked it down, and then, yeah, as you can see, I've done it myself. But, yeah, I'm not happy with that pick. I'm quite happy with the Tootin pick. Lad, as I say, I think he'll bounce this year and be
I
much
like
better
Ladd.
with McDaniel there now as the offensive coordinator. Warren was a panic pick as well, just because seen a lot of running backs going. I went to the running back page when it was on me, and I panicked that there wasn't that much that I liked there anymore, so I picked them up. And then Tyson, I like Shaw is the thing. I think Shaw is very good. I think he's going to have a good season, and I think Tyson and Olave can eat in that offense. So yeah, I like Tyson, and I was happy to pick him up. And then it all just absolutely went to pot. So basically, what happened is Monongai again. There was even less running backs there. I thought, I need to get someone.
Yeah.
I need to get another one. I need to get another one. And Swift, you know what my feelings on Swift. I just don't think I know he's performed and he's made a fool of me, but this is a year. I'm telling you, this is a year where Swift is nothing. And then I really started to panic because all the tight ends had disappeared. And I really started to panic, and I thought, oh, I need some tight ends. So I picked up Strange. I've again really regret it. Then Golden and Dubs happy with, and Joku just shoot me
So you
now.
got Dubes and Brown.
Sharp is it? Eh?
You got Dubes and Brown.
Yes. Well, here you go. You see at that time, I'll tell you the story, right? See at that turn, lad, a few weeks ago, my car broke down up in St Andrews at my work, you know. So I'm panicking because it's up at work, the car's at work, it's literally went into limp mode, so it's no dry, it's no going anywhere. So anyway, a guy in my work used to be a mechanic, you know, so he's out looking at it and he's having a, and it's me that's on the clock and Doug, and I'm panicking about the car and I'm out there looking at what he's doing and hoping he's going to be able to fix it. And Dougie's for putting up clocks on our WhatsApp chat, you know, he's got the clocks up and he's doing this and he's doing that. I was like, oh, I'm trying to deal with my car, you know, so I was peeved. So that weekend, then the weekend came round, right? Then the weekend came round and he's at a party and he's on the clock. So I'm giving him dog's abuse because he's no picking. So I'm giving him dog's abuse. And I wanted to just get it right back round onto him. So see when Fraser picked straight away, like literally I picked
He was
with
pretty
11
quick,
hours,
yeah.
59 seconds left to get it back on him so I could start sending the clocks again because I knew he wouldn't be picking straight away. And so I seen Dubs there and I just went boom, picked him up. Totally forgot I'd picked up AJ Brown in round 2. But yeah, it is what it is. He's not a starter. He's on the bench, so it'll do. And but yeah, then it's went to proper pop because again, I don't know. Shards I'm happy with, but Parkinson, I don't know why.
Many
Anderson,
tight ends.
having discussed with the aforementioned Mr. Baxter this afternoon, I'm starting to regret the Anderson pick as well, purely because of the scoring. I didn't study the scoring strongly enough, and it's sort of tackling is a big thing in here, you know. Tackling, there's a lot of point. You need to get the tackles in. So what I've got, you see, I've got Anderson in a dynasty that we've got IDPs, and it's got DL specific spots. So it's DL, LB, and DB specific spots. And I've got Anderson plugged in there, and he's doing brilliant in the DL spots, you know. But you know, he's in this score. I look back and he was like 75th highest scorer last year or something like that. So we've bit disappointed with Anderson, and I'll likely swap that up as soon as the draft finishes. And then it was Dart, and then it was Franklin, and then and then I went double down on Tampa for my last couple, and the last one will no doubt be another wide receiver. I think it's going another wide receiver. I've tagged on for it. So I'll be honest with you, Johnny. I'm not delighted with it, but it is what it is. You know, we'll run with it and we'll see how it goes. Sometimes it's the ones you're not happy with that go the best. You know, so fingers crossed.
I did that in Petty last year. I finished the draft and he went, that's not like one of your normal drafts, but kind of wasn't well because I wasn't really paying much attention. Then I ended up, I think I got beat in the final and I won his other one. But it's just the way it goes, like, you know,
How
just
it goes.
lucky sometimes. So
How it goes sometimes, innit? But yeah, so talk me through your one then. What's the train of thought here? I love the
I
three
thought,
running
well,
back start. What's it?
I like my running backs. So I've not actually got many for a change, but I started off with 3 that will be the main running backs in their team. They will score points. Brown will get catches as well. So the Dallas offense is always, I think, it's always going to be good. So Williams, well, it's a hard runner. I do like him, even though he does play for Dallas. I've got a lot of Ibuka. I still like Ibuka if he's fit and healthy. If he starts like he did last year, it's going to be immense. I went for Tate. I know he's a
Absolutely, I
rookie, but
agree.
you know, there's a lot of that one. I think Harrison's got to come good eventually, so I went for him. I was hoping to get Wilson a couple of rounds later, but he got bloody snapped off me by James. I went for Shakir, even though you've got Moore. Alan does like Shakir, so he's always a good little PPR man. Obviously, Okonkwo, I've got him quite a lot of places for Washington because obviously Daniels does like him. I went for Likely just because, well, why not? Went for Prescott ahead of Jalen Hurts because I don't like Jalen Hurts, but I do like Prescott. Does like to throw the ball a lot, which is always good. Hawkinson hopefully gathers some, like he did a couple of years ago, not last year, but like I say, it all depends on the quarterback.
I thought he was dead.
Tight end. Well, I doubt it. Well, somebody's got to catch a ball in Miami, so you've got to go for it.
I've seen him. No, that's it.
He does okay and he scored. Remember, I traded him away last year. He was on my team last year. Then I went for Cashman, who was a tackling machine at the end of the year last year. I went for Cooper, with the
Yeah, he
Green
was
Bay.
a
I think he's
machine.
going
I
to have
had
a
him
good year.
last year.
I picked up Robinson, so hopefully he takes over what Algier didn't take all the goal line bits. Would be quite good. He'll be on my bench most of the time anyway. Tesla to see if he improves for last year because he was quite good sometimes. I thought the 17th round I'll pick up
Yeah, I
Tom
don't hate that pick.
just in case obviously Kickoff done. I couldn't believe Dell was at the 18th because if he comes back, he's a good little player. Like, and obviously picked up my Malachi Fields later on. Can't argue with that one. And Horton for Seattle, who's a good little young player and had some good games. So hopefully gets more on the field, especially with Cup not really doing as great last year. So I'm quite happy with my team, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
One quarterback, you'd be happy to hear.
yeah, I mean, for
2 defensive players. So
one quarterback, 2 defensive players. Just how I like it, Johnny. Just how I like it. I do like Horton as well. You know that he's got a chance. I think it's because Shaheed might not be anything, and if he's not, I can see Horton getting in there. I don't hate that pick in the last round whatsoever. So yeah, I mean, you've put together a decent one there. I quite like that.
I was a bit gutted because I was wanting to take Daniels, but then Daniels got picked 2 picks before me, so I ended up just going for Likely. Because I thought if he stays healthy, Daniels is going to be bloody good. And I did get sniped a couple of times before too, like so. And that I've adjusted quite well for a couple of picks that I wanted to got sniped just before they got to me. So like, yeah, I probably would have if Scatterbo had been there. I know I do fancy Booker well this year, so I might have just stuck with Booker. But last year I only drafted 3 wide receivers, and I had to look well on the waiver wire. Like I picked up Washington, I picked up Wilson, which basically won with the division. But if it wasn't for those 2, I'd probably be mid-table. So I thought I made sure I have enough
receivers in you're going to get receivers in the agency, though. That's the thing about the receivers as well. There will be receivers in the agency that pop off, and it's just a case of can you get in and pick them up? Can you go grab them?
Well, I'm happy enough with my
It's
team
a big
anyway.
thing,
I know you didn't want to talk about it, but let's talk about Doug's team.
Yeah, but I mean, don't get me wrong. I like how it started. I hate how it finished. I think he got a little bit carried away. I think he got into his own head a little bit, to be honest with you. I absolutely love how he started. Chase Walker, Colin Swift. Yep, all fine. I'm not a fan of Swift, but fine. McLaurin, fine. And then I like him taking Kraft and Kittle one after the other. I think, those 2 could, especially towards the end of the year when they're up to full fitness, provided they don't obviously get hurt again. But then then he starts to go off the boil a little bit for me, Corum and White is the 2. He really needs Walker and Swift to stay fit for me. Now, don't get me wrong, Corum will get his touches.
But
Williams is still going to be... Kyler's the number 1. Kyler is the number 1, and he will be... Yes, Corum will eat into his touches. It doesn't make me want Corum. It just puts me off Kyron. And White, I mean, he done fine at the Bucks last year. It could be anything, but yeah, not for me.
It'll be the goal line man because his average 1 yard touchdowns. But then you've got Jane Daniels
as well because I've got his autograph to 75, so I would much rather take Bill. But yeah, I think he's went off the boil a little bit towards the end. So
yeah.
Obviously, anything can happen, but he went and studied his defenders, so I think he's picked up. I think he'll be happy with them, and I don't see any reason for them not to be great. And I do like him grabbing Black in the second to last.
I did like that one. I was
If
going to
I'm
make
being
a comment.
perfectly honest,
more.
if I'm being perfectly honest, I would have taken him if I'd have noticed him. I didn't notice him, so I took Tucker. And I took Tucker just because he gets touches in the at the goal line, so I really have to chuck him in, but I'm hoping I never have to play him. But yeah, so I do like the Black pickup because that could be, CMC goes down, James is already down, Black literally could start the season as the number 1 San Francisco 49ers running back, which would be wonderful getting this in the second last.
A couple of best balls. I've just finished with the very last pick. I went and picked Khalil Herbert. Just in the best ball of the last pick. Just get rid of it. I liked Herbert when he played as well.
Where is? Yeah, but is he
went to the 49ers. He signed a 1 year contract with the 49ers. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Craig's
blame
like,
you for going and pick them
I've
up.
still
Then
got a
that
pick to go. I'm
means
going to pick him up. Yeah, he
why
signed a
not?
1-year contract last week, something like that.
All the running backs in the 49ers get a run out. So yeah, I don't hate I don't hate what he's done because I really like the start of it. I'm just think he's kind of got into his own head a little bit. Debo as well. The Debo pick that was Debo's just been drafted and I've had a few beers pick. Debo's just been signed and I've had a few beers pick. I think he'll live to regret that one that early as well. But there you go. I think Fraser's done well from number one. You know, I always say the first pick is a difficult place to pick from because you're getting the top player, and Gibbs, he took the right one, obviously, you know, and Gibbs, but it's a long wait for it to come back to you, you know, and then so it's difficult from there. So I love the fact that he sniped me for the, I'm sure he sniped me for, no, he didn't. Yes, he sniped me for Neighbours. I let him go through the 4-11 because I wanted Tooting. And I was sure Neighbours was going to come back to me, and he sniped me for Neighbours, so that annoyed me a little bit, and that's how I ended up with Lad. But yeah, I like what he's done as well with Gibbs, Henry, Pickens, Neighbours, Higgins. Great start, you know.
It's
So
good, but you got to think,
I quite
obviously,
like what he's done from the first there.
Higgins is a 1B, Higgins is a 1B, Addison's a 2, Shahid's maybe a 2. So he's only really got one receiver who's the number 1, and that's Neighbours. I know the other ones will do well, but
But I mean, Pickens a de facto number one, and so is Higgins. Pickens and Higgins will
that's what I
be
said,
top 12.
one
Pickens
Bs.
and Higgins, yeah, but I mean, they will be top 12. If they play 17 games, they'll be top 12. Both of them will be top, and the quarterbacks play 17 games. Both of them will be top
Yeah,
12
need
wide
a
receivers
quarterback. Yeah,
next year. So that's a
I love
WR1,
Higgins. You know that.
you know. But I
You
think
know,
the Juicy Wren might have a little bit. Well, obviously he's going to have some running back issues, so he's looking for an injury or two. You know, the wide receiver room's obviously strong and Bowers there, but a lot of needing Dobbins to stay fit, or you know Mason to be getting more touches than Jones, and
it's
you know
Watson and Reed.
I like Stevie's, McBride, Laporte, and Fannin. I think that's going to help him massively, the three of them. But again, I just the running backs worry me, and Barkley, Irvin, and you know, then what have you got covering you, Spears and Tracy? So I think that the running back issues might be there too. But I do love the four tight ends, and four tight ends that, you know, might effectively be starting for him because it's 3 flex, isn't it?
Yeah, they've got an extra flex, but they've got rid of the
Obviously.
kicker. So
So I'm out on Kelsey this year, but that doesn't mean that he's not going to have. I mean, it's his swan song, so maybe Mahomes will target him more and try and get him into it more, especially if they don't have, if they're kind of not going great, you know, and it's his last few games, they might just start targeting him. But yeah, I mean, I think it's again, it's quite open. It's very open. There's a few teams that I like. There's a few teams that I don't like so much, and that I include myself in that one. You know, and bearing in mind, last year I loved my team, and I did say I think I'm going to win this division. I didn't, but I did say I
you
love my
did,
team. So I'm this year I really don't love my team, and
and
I'm
I didn't like my
not
team
thinking that
last
I'm
year.
going to be up there.
I wasn't overly keen on my team last year because I only had 3 wide receivers. But yeah, no, there's like you say, there's more wide receivers than agents than there are running backs.
Yeah, 100. There's no running backs in agency, and that's why you got to take them. That's why I've taken so many so early. But if Sadiq becomes a thing, then I think is it Tino? I think Tino's going to be
Martin, yeah,
one to look out for because CMC and Achan, if they stay healthy, that could be a 1-2 running backs. You know, de facto, if you know if Gibbs and Bejan don't play 17 games, they could easily be the 1 and 2. So yeah, I love that running back room. Forget the rest. If they stay fit, that's going to be a team to look at. Apart from taking 2 quarterbacks.
Queen Hill. So this is the division that Pez is in, Arthur's in.
So how far down are we, Johnny? Where are they at?
They're down to round 15. They've started.
Into round 15. Into round 15. So moving along nicely as well. Well, I love the Bibbles. I love the Bibbles Warren. Do you know what I'm looking for? Do you know what I'm hoping that I see? And I
But
really
don't
do
tell
hope
Ian
I
he's
see
got
it,
a good
because if I
team,
see
man.
it, I'm going to follow it. I'm going to follow it the whole year to see how it goes, because I want to see Bowers McBride. I want to see Bowers and McBride in the same team. If I see it, that's
Well,
auto my
I'll
favourite
give
team.
you a heads up that there is a Brewers and McBride at the 112 and 2-1. There is a team of
Is
Brewers
there?
and McBride.
Nice.
Yes,
Good. I
but
mean,
not this
Bibbles
one.
and Warren's a close second to it, and I do love those
Well,
two
yeah.
pickups. And getting Amon-Ra 11 is pretty big. And yeah, Williams and Montgomery, obviously that's where the running back room's going to be the issue. But I told Diggs. Oh, Ian, what are you doing to me? I'm giving you praise, and then you've taken Stephon Diggs in the blooming 12th round. What are you doing to me, son?
Well, I saw somewhere that he might be
He
going
must
to
have been.
Washington today.
It doesn't matter where he goes.
He does well his first season or first half of the season, then disappears. But yeah, I
12th.
knew as soon
It's
as
the
he got
12th
down here, he's
round.
got Robinson. He's got Nix and Herbert. Oh wait, here Sam. Well, no, who's first? Sam picked a defender at the 6:04.
Yeah, that's just way too early for me. I mean, listen, it's Campbell. There's every chance he'll be the highest scoring defender in the game. My problem with it is he's not going to have that much. He's only going to have 20, 30 points more than the 25th highest scorer in the game. There's just too many defenders that score decent points to be going in there. I mean, you can have Moore, Kraft, Burrow, Tate, Tyson, Odumze. They're all going to way outscore the dregs of the wide receivers. Then Campbell's going to outscore the dregs of the defenders, massively. So yeah, I'm never a fan of going that early. And when you've only got two IDPs to pick, I'm never a fan of going that early. There's just too many of them that score points. But yeah, it's each to their own and all that jazz. I like what he's done to start with. I mean, McBride, some may say that's early, but with the scoring, you've got to remember the scoring in this league. Tight ends are huge. So I've got absolutely no problem going with Trey McBride in the first round. I'm personally more Bowers than McBride. I mean, that's just a personal choice. I absolutely see that it's a kind of like your poison type thing. Who's your favourite kid? They'll both score massively this year. I prefer Bowers purely because I think that offense is going to get a wee bit better this year, whereas I think the Arizona one will be stagnant.
I
But I
reckon a
like
hot
AJ.
take here.
I love
But
AJ.
if Jones is fit and plays the whole season, I could see Warren finishing with more points than McBride. There you go. That's a hot take.
Yeah, and not for me.
I could.
Not for me, not yet.
He was getting target when Jones was fit. He was getting targets left, right, and centre. He was getting
Oh
lots
yeah,
of
I mean,
targets a game out. So, but he's got to stay fit. That's the problem.
listen, Tyler Warren is one of the reasons I nearly shot myself in week 15 last year when I absolutely scooshed through Show Me the Money just to get absolutely papped out in week 15 in the quarterfinals, absolutely raging, trying to go back to back. Tyler Warren was my tight end. He got me there and then he disappeared on me. And
Yeah, but
that's my
Rivers
worry
not the
about.
bloody quarterback.
Yeah, of course,
Well, there
but
you
still,
fucking go then,
this
old man Rivers. Jesus, man. You can't blame
it's.
Tyler Warren for the bloody quarterback situation after Downs went down.
No, I think
He
Tyler
got you
Warren will
that
have a great
far.
year this year. Don't get me wrong. I think he's.
He went,
I think he'll be there. I just think Trey McBride is just a wee step ahead of him. And let's not forget that when Brissett came in last year, that's when McBride really took off. Harrison didn't benefit from Jacoby coming in. Wilson did,
Wilson
and
did.
McBride
Yeah.
did. And yeah, so I mean that's about. I think McBride will be the number one target there. I think he will be the number one receiver. He'll have the most targets. He'll have the biggest percentage of the targets. He'll have the most catches, the most yards, and the most touchdowns for me in that offense.
Well, McBride, the year before McBride had the most targets as well. he just only had one touchdown.
Yeah,
And
there
that wasn't
was
even
no
for a set.
touchdowns.
So
What worries me for Warren is they're going to run with Taylor a lot. And yeah, Warren will do great. I love Warren, but I love all four of the top four. I love McBride, I love Bowers, I love Warren, I love Loveland. And then the rest are just meh. You know, the rest are there's some potential, but they're meh. So what I tend to be doing is if I don't get one in the top four, as I done in this league as well, if I don't get one in the top four, I punt.
then you panic.
In this league is probably not the best idea because, as I said, you know, Ferguson was outscoring all but 10 wide receivers last year, so, and that was Ferguson. So, yeah, the punt wasn't the best idea, I don't think. But yeah, I like the Bowers Warren combination. I just don't like what he's done out thereafter. So, and I love the St. Brown start. So let's move on from that.
So we've got Arthur started off with Cook and then Judkins. So he took Cook at the 107. Then I got Higgins, Fannin, Swift, Burrow, Washington. Took Mills Garrett at the 8.6, but he probably was a bit of a machine, but he's still a defensive lineman. Concepcion, so he's got his three Clevelanders again. So he's got Judkins, Fannin, and Concepcion, and Gadsden. But then he's got Stafford and Burrow, which is a bit crazy. But he does like his defensive lineman because he's got Garrett, Hutchison. But he's also got N'Kobe Dean, so he's got three defenders already. Way to go, Arthur. You like your defenders.
Yeah, it's the wide
But
receivers
he's
that
only
worry
got two.
me
He's
greatly.
only got two quarterbacks so far, so that's not bad.
Yeah, 3 defenders in 15 rounds. That worries me greatly. It worries me greatly.
That's enough.
I've got to
Well,
say.
let's go look at Pez then.
Not
Here we
a
go.
fan.
Well, in fairness to Pez, he was away over the weekend at a festival, so Joe was picking for him for a couple of rounds.
Yeah. So he's got. Well,
He
it might be good then if someone else is picking for him for a couple of rounds.
Well,
Because it wouldn't be good if
didn't
he
trust
picked
me to
it.
make pick. He didn't trust me to make picks for him because they said I would pick tight ends for him, so he went for Joe instead. So he started off with Puka at the 104, then he got Brown, then Olavi, Reporter the 409. It's a bit early for report, I think. Henderson 5.4. Daniels, Godwin, Hubbard, Goddard, Addison, Reed, Rudy Marks, Hawkinson, Boston, and Rodriguez. He's a bit thin in the old running back.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. I like Rodriguez. I think I know that I like Tootin, but I like Rodriguez as well. I think you'll get plenty. I think there's going to be plenty room for touches there because that's going to be a good offense. They're going to be on the field a lot, you know. So I do think Crod will get his touches as well. So I do like that pick in the 15th. But I like this, you know, Puka, Brown, Olave, Henderson, love it. Laporta, absolutely. It's Godwin, not so much. Hubbard, not so much. Goddard, I can't get off the fence with Goddard. One day I think, yeah, get in. And the next day I think, no, he's finished. So I can't get off the fence with him this year at all. I don't think Pez has started particularly badly. Well, that's the thing. Is what's Dowell's going to do? Is he good? Because apparently he's not started camp all the best, or he didn't have a good, you know, kind of pre-camp when they came in. But yeah, I think he's doing his team's absolutely fine. It's not getting me overly excited, but it's not upsetting me either. It's very standard, very good players, good chances, not many holes that you can find. So yeah, I think Pez is going along well at the moment. I tell you that see Matty Leo next to him. See if he just took Loveland instead of Allen. See if he just took Loveland. He's got Pugby down there. See if he'd have just taken Loveland instead of Allen. No, he couldn't have. Sorry, it's one after, isn't it? He would have just taken Olavi instead of Allen. Or Jacobs, or Henry, or Etienne, or Williams, or Hall, or Williams.
Right.
But he took Allen. Because I love that whole entire team apart from the Allen pick at the 3. And it's not that it's Josh Allen. Josh Allen will be the highest scoring quarterback in the game. It's a 302.
By a long way, yeah.
The 303.
But
so
then
yeah,
Jack's
I
went
love
to 305.
I love that. If you could replace Josh Allen with any one of those that I just said, Tyler Warren. Replace him with Tyler Warren, please. And that would be my favourite team that we've seen so far. It really would. I think Ramondre, I'm very much in Trevion. And I've got my wee Trevion autograph here. But I'm very much in Trevion, but Ramondre's going to get his touches, absolute 100%. He is going to get his touches. New England like him, may trust him, and he's going. There is room in offenses in this state, in the NFL today. There is room for two good scoring running backs and any given offense. So yeah, I think Stevenson's going to get his touches and will score just fine. Price is going to start the season, so we'll see how he goes and all that jazz. But he's number one at the number one running back to start the season at the Super Bowl champ, so that can't be a bad thing. Hunter, of course, there's IDP. Love the Hunter pick. Why didn't I
Well, it's
take
down here
Hunter
as a
in
wide
this? There's
receiver, not a
IDP.
DP. But
Oh, eh?
he's down here as a wide
Yeah, but you
receiver.
can play him in defence. You
I
can
know
play
you
him in
should be
D
able to,
surely, and he
but
can get his D points. And he'll get his D points. Oh, I'd be throwing my toys out the pram if I wasn't getting D stuff for Hunter in this league. I would throw my toys out the pram.
there you go. DB as well.
Yeah, there you go. Told you. Yeah, I forgot about that. Why
Yeah, he
didn't I
didn't do
take
much.
Hunter in that? It's because I've been ignoring him. I've been dissing him like the plague all summer. But yeah, so I love the Hunter pick actually. Absolutely. I've changed my mind on that pick completely. Yeah, if you could just replace Allen for another, that would be
Warren.
my favourite team so far.
Cool. So there you go, Matty. You just picked a quarterback too early. So you want to look at Joe's
I do
before we go?
think, I mean, Purdy's absolutely fine. Give me Purdy. I'll start Purdy all day long until he gets injured.
So Joe went Lamb, Jefferson, Etienne, Smith, Tootin, Warren, Kittle, Harrison, Fred Warner, Jackson Dart, Aaron Jones, Jake Bourne, Spears, and Cooper in the 14th.
Yeah, he's picked up some pretty decent ones there as well. To get Lamb and Jefferson on the double turn, that's brilliant. I tell you what, see if this was 2 years ago,
Yeah, you've
you
no
wouldn't
way to
get
get
you
that.
would need to be 101, 102 to get them type thing. Look, now he's getting them
Yeah,
on the turn,
yeah,
and
you'd probably get
I love
Jefferson to 1 and 5 here. Yeah,
I love that. Absolutely love that. I think the two of them are going to. I mean, Murray has to be better than what was thrown to Jefferson last year. Jefferson's a bona fide stud. Like proper 101 stuff. He can be the top wide receiver. Could and maybe will be the top wide receiver. And so can Lamb. So yeah, I love what Joe's done there at the turn. And I don't think he's made any mistakes whatsoever there. I like everything that he's done, to be
I
fair.
like his
He's
team.
taken Warner a bit early, but outside of that, I love that Zach Bond's just a tackle machine. I think he'll be a very high scorer in this. And Tajay Spears is absolutely going to get runouts in that Tennessee backfield. It's him and Pollard, and he scored well enough last year with Pollard. And you've got to think that a year older, Pollard's going to be taking a little bit less touches, and maybe Spears getting a little bit more. So good pick up in the
You hope
14th.
so, but the Pollard was getting a lot of touches last year. So that was Division 3, so we're going to Division 4, so we've got the Millhead. So we've got 8 new teams in this division to make it more fun. So obviously we've got Murph here, and we have, obviously Joe's.
So
Joe got relegated.
I
We've got
forgot that I
Gary.
was wanting to look at the top 5 and see how many are going out the norm in the top 5. Just the one here. Gary versus CMC. Absolutely. I mean, I don't blame him. CMC's a great pick, and absolutely running back one last year. Every chance he'll be running back one this year if he gets the same touches. But yeah, so I don't knock Gary for taking CMC to 102 whatsoever, but I'll tell you what, Gary H is he's going to be cheesing a little bit.
Yeah, Gibbs at the 104, definitely. But yeah,
I mean,
apart from
that is
McCaffrey, you had your
huge.
first 5 there.
Because the thing is, you're getting the chance to get someone to go with them earlier on the way back. That's the big thing. The later you get that Gibbs or Bejan, the earlier you've got it coming back. So it's I mean, Gibbs and Henry. If Henry's age isn't catching up with them, that's a stunning backfield and Swift to back them up, and then you've got Pickens and Ibuka there. I mean, Gaston's a wee bit early for Gaston, but I mean, there's a lot of who's going after him. Not that many, really. So, is that Gaston before Kraft?
No, Kraft before Gadsden.
No, after. Yeah, after. Yeah, that's
Kincaid's after
apparent. Kraft was just
then
went. I bet you
then
that
you've
was
got
a
Gary.
fright. And he,
I think Gary had a lot of this in auto pick. I think because he was at the Grand Prix. So I'm guessing Hutchison was an
was
auto
it?
pick. Maybe
I
Crosby.
would imagine so. I mean, you can't be taking Aidan Hutchison that early. You just can't be.
Well, it is Gary, so it could be.
Well, true.
Mm,
But it's
there you go. You got your Bowers,
yeah,
Lamb,
McCaffrey
Bowers,
loves
and Loveland.
Jackson. I love Burden and Warren. I love Burden and Waddle. I'm not so sure I want Rome and Burden though. That's I'd rather kind of roll the dice with one. And his Stribling's going to start going earlier and earlier and earlier, isn't he? He has to. So yeah, I mean, it's for a Gary draft, it looks okay actually. I'm quite proud of him.
I like this one. He could be quite good. The rookie Williams, Washington. As long as could be like they might be the number 2. Also, they've got Lane as well though, but
Yeah, I
a
really
good
like Williams.
partnership.
I've picked him
Yeah,
up in quite a few dynasties. I've picked him up in a few dynasties. Yeah, I really like Williams. So here's a McBride and Warren. We've got a McBride and Warren, and
yeah.
Wolf. That's a 0 Raiders. But is that Aaron? No,
Raiders,
no,
but
no. Aaron's in
no,
the
this is
first
the wrong
division. The next
division.
one.
This is
Yeah,
Matthew Butler.
no, it's not. Yeah, but that's a tactic. That's a tactic. I have 0 wide receiver. I'm interested to see how that works out. Actually,
Yeah, but
I
it's
love
at the
McBride
end.
and Warren
It's
having
got
them there, and
Pittman. It's got Pittman, Pierce,
Pierce,
Golden, Boston's
Godwin.
to Kieran Worth. Well, Worthy's injured again,
Yeah,
and you've got Dean.
it
You'll
should
probably
be a
Dean and
big year
Warner
for
down there.
Matthew Golden this year. I am very, 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 very hopeful for Matthew Golden this year, I have to say. But yeah, that's a funky tactic. I'm interested to see how that plays out. Actually,
Well,
I
but
don't think
Dan's
I've ever
tactic
seen
going for
someone not taking.
the chase at the 103 and Burrow at the 210 just so he could get the stack. But he
Yeah,
still got
that's
Judkins
too early
stackable
for Burrow
afterwards.
for me.
But yeah, he just wanted it because he's a
Way
point of
too early for
Bengals fan.
Burrow. Yeah, I
He's one of
get
the new
that, but
boys.
you got to
He'll learn.
start. You got to you you support with your heart. You think with your head. Way too early. You could have got Burrow in the 4th. But I mean, he's got to stack, so he's got a cracking stack there. I do like the Burrow chase stack. I think it could be it can win you games in its own. It can win you weeks on its own.
But if Burrow gets injured, it's losing you games. So it's
Well,
I quite like
that's the flip side of it, isn't it?
PCO 316. You start with Chase Brown at 112, Hampton at 2-1, Day Flowers, Higgins, McConkey, McLaren, Herbert at 7. You got Williams instead.
And Herbert McConkey
It's a
stack.
nice start. Yeah.
It's way too early for Herbert, but yeah, I love the Herbert McConkey stack, especially with, as I say, with McDaniel there now. That could pay absolute dividends.
I do think he went McConkey
And
because there was four wide receivers in that division. That round went already, so that would have been 8 off the board. And he's one of the new boys. He's probably just panicked a bit and went for it. But I like Adam as well when he's got Lamb, Bowers, Loveland, Henderson. Running backs are a bit iffy, but you've got Bowers, Loveland, and Kittle.
The Raiders Butts team and Adams team, they between the two of them, they've got the top 4 tight ends, and I think that could absolutely that could make huge differences. As I say, with the scoring, having 2 of them is massive for me. I wish I'd done it myself. Well, I couldn't because I was at the 102, so I was never good unless I went really silly and took one. Even at that, the other wouldn't have come back to me if I'd have went early with one. But yeah, what are you thinking of Genty? Do you think he's going to kick on this year? I think he's going to be much better this year. I've
I
not
think
given
they
up
are
on
going to
him
be
yet.
better this year, even if it's Cousins at start. I think because they will be better this year, a lot better. I think they worked on the
I
offensive
think so.
line.
And I really like that
And
team.
he had some good games. It was just he was a rookie. You know what I mean? Again, yeah. I think he'll do better this year.
That is
I've
100.
drafted him in a few places, so I hope he does a better as well.
Yeah, I've picked him up 1 or 2. But I think that's a great team, that Ryan Griffiths. I
Another
love
new boy.
everything about that. The running back room is Genty and Tootin's the starters, and they're the bona fide starters. But Gainwell and Brooks, I really like the two of them as well. So I think they're excellent backups. I think his wide receiver room is fantastic with JSN. How do you
Yeah,
get an AJ Brown that late? I'll never know. And then to get Devontae Smith, absolute number one in Philadelphia now that AJ Brown's gone. Then Christian Watson, who I absolutely love this year as well. If he can stay, and we say it all the time, but I say it for him because he's always injured. But if he can get a run, but he will be outstanding, I think. And obviously Washington, I'm not the biggest fan of, but I love Tyson. Yeah, I really like what he's done there, and just picking up the one quarterback. Love it. Don't pick up another one, Ryan. Please, pal. Just stick with your Willis and run with it. And if he doesn't have a good start, then there'll be quarterbacks in the agency that you can go and pick up. Do not go two quarterbacks, and you could really build one there.
you can stick him on IR.
Could really be
Sorry.
building one there. That's my favourite team here.
Yeah. Yeah, Murph's
The
isn't
thing
bad.
is about
Yeah,
taking two quarterbacks as well. It's not even like if you take two good quarterbacks, someone's got Daniels and Mahomes. Who are you starting? And how many times
yeah.
is your quarterback on the bench going to have 40 points while your starting one's going to have 10?
That happened a lot last year.
You know?
Like even though you got Gary's
It's
got
just
Hurts and Dart, you got
don't give yourself a
Jackson
headache,
and Love.
man.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's me.
You do like your rant about that. So there you go. So so you think Ryan's the best one here so far?
And Ryan's my
Probably.
favourite one there by quite a distance.
I do like
I
Raider
do
Buck
love the
too.
two. I do love the two that we've got tight end. But it worries me. Raiders butts not having a wide receiver until the 8th round worries me. But I do love the fact that they've got the tight end, and Adams running back room worries me ever so slightly. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I like
Ryan
Adams apart
Griffiths
from
is
the
my
running
favourite
back.
one there.
Cool. So we go on to the West Conference. So we've got Happy Valley. They're up the whole group, round number 10. So not much in this one.
Yeah,
So you got Solomon, who was the
that's a
highest scoring
heck
team
of a
last
runner.
year. He's tight end. Oh yeah,
Heck of a runner tight ends in the last day or so, eh?
bloody right. The Solomon was the highest scoring team last year, so he started off with Robinson and Walker, picked up Loveland in the 3-1, Wilson, Laporta, Adunzi, Watson, then went Aidan Hutchison at the 8-12, which is a bit of a strange one.
That's where it falls down for
But
me.
whoa,
This love this
4-7 for Dave for Gray.
love that start, but yeah, that's just. I mean, this is the top division as well, so you know they obviously know what they're doing. So who am I to knock it? But yeah, I love what Solomon's done to begin with. Robinson and Walker, love it, absolutely love it. You've got Loveland and Laporta, really like that. Wilson is the number, you know, he's a superstar. It's just who's thrown to him, but I do like the pack. Like a Doomsday, love Watson, like I say, and then it all goes to pot after that, unfortunately.
But
It's
you're
only
going to
two
have to look
picks,
at
so
Derek.
it's, you know, there's plenty of time to come. Oh, Jings, Delhi Boy back. Hey, you know what? Barkley and Jefferson's a
That's quite good at.
good to get at the turn there. But let's see
But he's
what
got
else we
an
got.
8.
Christ, he might need to call in a doctor. His players are all about 60 years old. You got Adams, Williams, Prescott's getting on, Henry. But yeah, I think that's okay to begin with, to be honest. I think he's doing all right.
Aaron, got to do
Bartley
Aaron's team.
Williams, running back room. Algier is the backup. Not got a
Yeah,
problem with that because we are only through 10 rounds, mind. So there's still you can't really tell what to. At this stage, your first 10 rounds, everybody's a good player. You know, it's hard to get it kind of
there you go.
wrong.
Well, how's
But
Aaron's
yeah,
start then?
I don't hate Aaron's start either. You know, I London
I quite
Flowers
like Aaron's
Burden,
start.
Burden. He's got Burden a steal. That's quite late for Burden, is it not? 509. So I think that's a bit of a steal. Flowers has just been paid. London's just been paid. Sutton and Myers are going to, you know, not the biggest of fans. And I don't hate his Andrews pick because he's going to be a touchdown magnet, and especially with Likely not there. You know, Lamar's getting on in life. He's maybe not running them in so much. He's going to be looking for his tight end in the red zone. Yeah, I can see Andrews being a big player this year. So yeah, I think Aaron's going along just fine.
Well, we'll get a better look at that one next week, and hopefully they've got a few more picks on the board. So here we've got Maze Howe. This is the
Yeah,
one that's
let's do it.
closest to
Yeah.
us for finishing. They're on the 20.6, so
So
they're
this
just
one's
behind
nearly
us.
done. So
Yeah,
McBride and Bowers are there.
there you go. Jack, who won
Cannot
Division 3
wait to
2 years
see how
ago.
this works out.
Yeah, so McBride,
Cannot
Bowers,
wait to see how
Williams,
that works out.
Hall, Williams. Yeah, he's still got. Yeah, it's pretty good. He picked up Stafford in the
Tell you
14th.
what, do you know what put me off doing that? Do you know what would put me off doing that? Not being sure what I'm going to follow it up, and worried that the rest of the team's not going to look that great. But looking at that, Williams and Hall is a decent running back room.
Yeah,
I get that Corum and Marks maybe not the best backups, but they're backups. That's the running back room, Williams and Hall.
they'll get on the field.
And then
And you got to think
Javonte,
they're
I was
back.
a big fan. I was a
You look at their bye weeks.
big
You've got
fan.
Williams is week 14, Hall's week 13, McBride's 14, Bowers is 13. A lot of their games have been played, so they might have already secured promotion by the first four
Is
players
that
are on the bye. So
absolutely,
you're just plugging him in just for the hell of it.
absolutely.
So it's a bloody
That
good
is
one.
very
That
much a good call. I loved Williams last year. I don't know that I'm in so much on him this year, so that probably means that he's going to be he's going to kick on and have the best of his career. But yeah, and then the Devontae, again I can't go off the fence on him either. He's too old, man, but he keeps performing. And then Wilson, but it's not bad. Wilson could be great. Pierce got bad, so
big still
he could be good. And
when he's fit.
yeah, I like what he's done with McBride and Bowers, and I love the fact that he's then not went quarterback until the 14th,
And getting Stafford to stack
and
up
not
with
jumped in on
Adams.
stack the Adams. So that's touchdown glories. But yeah, so
And two
I like
tackling
what
machines
he's
in
I
Cashman and
do like
Singleton.
what he's done with those two.
Definitely.
And
So
what
we
else
got,
have we got? So yeah, that's kind of knocked out the tight ends for the rest. So, but that should open up. There should be teams with two massive picks. Who have we got? The top five? Oh no, it's not. There's a wee bit of CMC in there. And there you go. Pork's taking Lamb because it's pork in it. So of course he's taking Lamb. We've got to go. They've been delighted to get JSN dropped to him.
and he got Prescott in the 9th for a stack.
So he did. Wee bit early.
Maybe
Wee bit
happy with that.
early. Kelly, what you doing,
Picked up-
sir?
Then he picked up Mahomes 4 rounds later.
Yeah, it's stupid. When are you going to play? What one are you playing every week?
Man,
Just
he's
don't
picked
do it.
Judkins and
Don't do
Sampson,
it.
so he's got the handcuff for Judkins.
Yeah, there's.
He got Stowers, so I like that one.
Yeah, I'm not a fan
18.
of what he's done. I'm not a fan of what he's done back end, but I really like what he's done. I quite like what he's done at the start, but I'm not a fan of back
I'll maybe
end.
know that one, but yeah. But
But
yeah, I
yeah,
like the
I mean
Lamb.
that means you're going to win this year, Kelly.
Well, he nearly won last year.
There's Al. What's Al done? St. Brown, Gente, Olave, Scat, couple of good tight ends. Yeah, he's been studying.
He has. He's got
Sure,
Sharp and
Al's
he's
been
been up at the
studying.
12th.
Then he's picked up
Bixby.
Debo.
Allen,
I like it. Do you know that's the first I've noticed Tank's been picked. Now I'm sure he's been picked in many, many more. I've just not noticed it. But it's the first time I've noticed him being picked, and I think Bixby's going to do well. I just don't see them trying to run back into the ground this year. I see them giving him a little bit of respite, which means Bixby's coming in. So yeah,
Allen's
I
got.
quite like what Allen's done there. I've got to say.
Allen's got Hurts, Lemon, Bixby, and he picked up Wicks. So he's got 4 Eagles players, 3 defenders, two quarterbacks. Fair enough. You're only going to play him when he's playing over. You're going to play Hurts over Willis, but he's a good backup. He's only got
Yeah,
He's got three
absolutely.
tight ends. Barner's a
Absolutely.
good tight end for him. He was a good target man last year. So yeah, I do like Allen's team as well.
Yeah,
Green,
I think that's
Kevin.
I like the Cook I like the Cook Chan pairing as well. I think that's a great running back room, and you know the touches that they got last year, they are the absolute focus, not just of the backfield, but of the whole entire offense. You know,
Yeah.
both of them. So yeah, I like that, and I like following up with Wilson and Smith as well. I think that is an exceedingly good start, but then all the starts look pretty good. It's what do you do later on? That's the big thing, isn't it? Now, see the Jared Goff pickup. I think that's very interesting as the first quarterback that he's taken. I don't because I don't hate it. They've got
They've
what,
got a good
like
schedule this
14
year.
games indoors or something like that this year.
Yeah, they've got an indoor season. Like last year, they were outdoors a lot. So it's a good year to have them.
So I think that
You
is
pick,
a sneaky. It could have been done later, but I think that is a sneaky decent pickup. And yeah, I mean, I don't hate that pickup at all. It's going to be tight end issue. It's going to be the issue for Green.
Taylor Parkinson. Yeah, that's not. Yeah, for a
I
tight
do
end
really
premium
like
league,
the start, and
not good.
the golf one is I don't hate that. I hate taking shout afterwards because that's like you're hedging your bets. But yeah, I do like the golf move. Just too early.
Yeah,
What
mark at
else
the
we got?
101.
Gibbs going. I always like see when you see like a Gibbs or Bejan going 3-4-5. Always look
Nice.
there and say, what did they follow up with? What did they follow up with? And so far, I've been very disappointed with what they're following up with. I've got to say, and that's not to say that I don't like Nico Collins. I think Nico Collins is great, but I'd rather have AJ Brown in there. I would rather have taken Warren Pickens. But yeah, Nico will have a great season. But I do like seeing kind of what they followed it up with. Nick
Nick
Tactics taking a
Tactics.
nice
I
run of
like
wide
that one.
receivers there from 3 to what 6. That's a nice one. I tell you again, no, it's like McCaffrey's in his 30s, Henry's in his 30s, Dobbins is perma injured. I mean, they might not have any, and Crod's injured right now. Might not have any running backs to play. He might be running
Yeah.
out there with Jonah Coleman and Jalen Wright, for goodness sake. But yeah, if they stay fit, it's got a great shout.
I do.
And
Yeah.
my
I
favourite
do
one
quite
here
like
by a
Knight.
country mile is. Hmm?
I quite like the Mike
Like,
J
oh
with
yeah, yeah,
Booker,
that's
Chase Brown, Jeremy Williams, Waddle McLaren, the Dunze, Gamewell in the 8-1. But then obviously after that, it gets a bit more. But he starts off well.
Burrow and Burrow and Lawrence
I like
again.
Jack Smith.
You're always going to start Burrow. I like Diouf 8. I think that's I really like that. Apart from, I mean, yes, Kelsey's a wee bit early, but fine because you've followed him up with some good cover, and that I don't overly hate taking Murray when you've got Dart as your starter because there's so many quit, and I've got Dart, and I'm not going with another one just because there'll be ones in agency, but Dart could Dart, has got to prove himself. So does Murray. But if Murray is anything like he was kind of early doors in Arizona, that could be an absolute steal down there, and you can boot that later on. So I get the point of taking Murray later on because you've taken it on the let's hope he is what he used to be and not what we all think he is now, which is nothing.
So my favourite one, sorry, Alan, at the moment is Alan. I do like even Kit Pitts is good in this league. With the points. So
Yeah,
and
I like that deal one. That's absolutely my favourite so far because I think Tony Pollard as a backup running back's not, he's number one, so why not? But Taylor Hampton, boom, boom, and then Rice, Ibuka, Watson, and DJ Moore. I don't think it could have went any better than that run. I really don't. I
so
love that run.
Daniel's going for the triple stack for Baltimore when he's got Flowers, Jackson, and Andrews. But after Barkley and
Yeah,
Love, he's
I
got
don't like
Brooks
that.
and Spears. Black.
I'm out on
Yeah, it's all
Jackson
backup
this year.
running
I'm
backs.
massively out on Jackson this year. I've got to say. I think he's
Happened for a couple of years.
he's at the Cam Newton stage now, you know, where his legs are pretty much going, and we're finding out he's actually not that good a passer. So yeah, I'm very much out on Jackson this year. Literally traded him in Dynasty for hat loads and really hope that it pays off.
There we go. So we'll go on to, well, they're only well, they're nearly finished. So hopefully we finish before them. So we're the first team, first group, but we can get picking who our favourite is by the end of the draft there. So we've got Marwick Head, Division 3. So this one's got Sean Boy in it, Flameboats. Scott Wilkins been in a auto
Yes,
for a bit, and Dirk.
again, we're only through 13 rounds, so
Yeah.
it's all kind of going to be good right now, isn't it? 'Cause it's only through 13 rounds, but yeah, Suarez power taking McBride and Fannin again. I've said that I really like that, and I do pick up another couple later on. That's fine. I hope he only takes Purdy. I hope he doesn't go body deep into quarterbacks. And then that's
He's
looking
running
very
back.
good
So
to me. Only two running backs. Yeah, well, that's a worry there, isn't it? It jumps out at
Lemony,
you, and then you kind of back off and go, ooh,
I quite
and
like the
that's
start
what's
of
making
Lemony
me
Fresh,
go,
but picking
ooh.
up May in 7 and that Daniels in 9 was a bit. Uh,
Yeah,
Johnson,
I
not bad.
mean,
Robinson,
well,
Pickens, Jacobs, Williams, Hurts, Lehman.
yeah, the May Daniels is a bit of a waste to me. And again, I liked what was going on beforehand. Maybe not so much a love picking too, but Puka, Hall, Etienne, and Scat, I think are very good pickups. And then to follow that up with Rome, and then May and Kincaid, great start. Why take Daniels? What do you think of Pittman this year
I,
over in Pittsburgh?
I quite like it because obviously Pittman's never, he's not a star. He's not a star, but he always does well. Like he'll score touchdowns, he'll be good on the end zone. You know what Rodgers is like when he gets to the end zone, he likes to throw it. He doesn't like to run the ball. So
True,
I think
true.
yeah, it's
And
going to be okay.
there will be a target there. I
Yeah.
just am not sure how often they'll get to the end zone this year. But yeah, I'm not out or in on him. I'm very again. I'm on he's one that I'm kind of on the fence with. But yeah, it's very early on here. Filling up your D this early, I don't like. But outside of in the two quarterbacks, but I love the start of that.
Yeah.
I love the
Yeah,
start
they've
of
been
that.
good picks to start. So obviously still they're over halfway at least. And we're up to Dwarfy Stain, who are on
Yeah, I think we're
round
over halfway. We'll
14.
finish that one off properly next week when I finish. And through 14, so we can just have a quick look here as well and see what's going on. What have we got? Where are we? Where are we? McBride in London, Jefferson, Bowers, Wilson, running back issues. But there's been trades in here as well. There's
Yeah,
been
between
trades.
just the one trade between the two of
What I
them.
like
So
him. I mean, I'm looking at Woozy Parks. I'm thinking, yep. What? Let's go. Where? But outside of that, I really quite like what's going on there. And
I like the first 8 or 9 picks in that one, but I'm not really keen on the people.
ETJs that
They're
had
not,
CMC and Achan, Smith and Ladd. I'm not surprised they traded those two away. Oh, no, he traded up
and
for
he's
a
got
Booker. That's what
Ibuka.
he's done. He's traded up for a
He's
Booker and
got
he got
Ibuka and
Pitts over there
Pitts. He
too.
gave away that to Washington. He's
And
got
then he's got
Corum,
Blake
McCaffrey,
Corum to cover.
but then he's got Pitts,
If he can
Andrews, and
pick up a
Henry.
couple of, if he can pick up a couple of decent backup running backs coming down, in the next couple of rounds, I think that'll be a very nice team.
Got Higgins down there as
That's
well,
got the
which is good
makings of
as
a good
well.
start there, and that's this IA traded up. But yeah, that's got the makings of a good start there, and I like what Muir's doing there as well, starting with Taylor and Walker. Absolutely, T Higgins is fine by me there, right in the third round. I can't believe how late he's been going in some of these. Laporta again, fine. Lamar, I'm out on, but that doesn't mean he's still one of the top
Whoa!
quarterbacks. It's there's every
Jay and
chance he's
Ellis
going to
has
kick
got
on.
Chase, Brown, Allen, Etienne, May, Williams, Dowdle. Right. This is a new boy, and this is a new person in the league, so I'm guessing I don't really follow it too much yet. But yeah, that's a So they've got 3 quarterbacks in the first 6 rounds.
Yeah, that's a bit. Well, obviously that's not
Crazy.
good. No, listen, you only do these things once, Johnny. You only do these things once.
You do indeed. That's the
Yeah, 3
Bristol
quarterbacks in the first 6 rounds
Blackbeard, I think it is.
is a boo-boo. Do you know what the
Yeah.
thing is as well? I love chasing Brown and Etienne,
Yeah.
Dowdle and Price. You're going to get, you switch between Dowdle and Price. Start with Price and hope that Dowdle takes over from Warren as you go. It's actually not that. And then Kittle, when he comes back, when he's fit, he will be an absolute beast as always. Wandale's fine. Johnson's huge is fine. And then Concepcion should be the number one over there, you would think, and after a few weeks, etc. So yeah, but three quarterbacks in the first 6 rounds is what's killed the chances, I would say.
Yeah.
We'll see how
Well,
it
there you
plays
go.
out. Obviously only through 13. We can't overly see there. We can't tell how it's going to finish, and it's we'll see that one better next week when I'm sure it'll be close to done.
Hopefully. Yeah. Obviously, I don't think Scarborough will be much closer done. Yeah, no, there's been some good drafts and some interesting picks, and I hadn't actually realised there was 3 quarterbacks in that one team.
There always
But
is,
like I
Johnny.
say,
It's
it's his
13
first
leagues,
year.
there's 13 leagues. You're going to see some
9 leagues.
crazy shit in 13 leagues, do you know what I mean? It's just the way you're going to see, because everyone goes about things completely differently as well. And there's no right way or wrong way. There is absolutely no right way or wrong way. It's how you feel is the best way to build the team for you. Me personally, if I get to the 7th round and I've not got 3 running backs, I panic like crazy. I like to get my running backs in because I believe that there's less running backs later on to be picked up. But then it doesn't always work either. So that's just the way I go about it. But I absolutely understand people going about things completely their own way. I love the going early in the tight ends in here.
Yeah.
Some people go hero running back and just pick one and then have none to about the 10th. Not for me, but it's a tactic. It's a bona fide tactic. So however you think's the best way to get your team is the way to go about it. Don't listen to
The thing is, though, that
anyone
you
else.
get the bell cow or you get the running backs because there is the little points for the carry in the first down that you need a good running back. At least you need at least 2 to make up for
Yeah,
later on.
that's it. There is a wee extra point or 2 for the running backs as well. There, it's the tight ends. It's got the big benefit though. The tight ends have got huge benefits on the points, and that's where you can really make up the distance. That'll get you closer to the finish line for sure. Having 2 good tight ends.
I got a couple of good ones, so I'm quite happy with mine so far. But nah,
In
it's
fact, you know what?
I'm glad we got started.
You know what I'm going to do next year? I'm going to go tight end, tight end, tight end, tight end, and see what happens there. Then see what happens thereafter. I'm going to have the 4 of them: McBride, Bivers, Warren, and Loveland, and see how it goes.
There's not a chance in hell you're going to get all 4 of them.
Yeah, probably not. But it would be
Unless
nice.
you're trading like mad, which people crowd on. Also depends on what division you're in.
Well, that too. But yes, it's good to be back, Johnny. That's we're back into NFL time again. I know time flies and all that jazz, but the off season is long as well, So I'm really looking forward to the season getting going. I'm so happy it's draft season again.
I know, I'm good. And thank you for all the 108 people, 107 people taking part this year. It is absolutely awesome. And I have 7 on the waiting list for future, which is good. So it's always a bit of a worry that people drop out that I can't get a replacement, but it seems to be growing strong, which is good.
Fantastic. Yep, and long may it continue.
Definitely. I can't believe it's year 4 already. And I've already confirmed with the man who does the helmets for next year. So he's all good and well. So the only problem is bloody team stake. I hate it.
Yeah, me too. But what can you do?
I get hammered with a percentage to take money out, then I get hammered with a percentage of PayPal for taking money in. A bloody rip-off.
Me too.
But hey ho, that's
taking money out, Johnny. I'm not good enough.
Yeah,
well, I just put money in. I don't take money out.
Well, you get charged for putting money in the jar, but you just donate. That's all that is.
You just I'm a depositor.
We'll take that the way it goes. But thank you for coming on, Craig, and we'll see you next week. We'll do the same again. There should be a few more finished by then.
Hopefully the leagues will all be finished and we can rattle through the ones that weren't quite far along this tonight.
And maybe pick our predictor winners and see how wrong we are, like we always are.
Predictor winners, that's it.
Yeah, that's always a good shambles. Anyway, thank you for those that will be watching it later on, and good luck who's still drafting, and hopefully we'll be finished our draft tonight. And we'll catch you later. See you, Craig.
Yeah, and stop taking multiple quarterbacks.
Yes, especially don't take any more. Jealous.